Today I'm critiquing a new construction in Surrey, south of London, and then I'm going to give it an Arvin score at the end of the video. So if you ever decide to buy a new construction, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad. I'm the How to Buy a Mansion guy. Let's watch this video together.
We're in Kingswood, Surrey, south of London, an area known for its outstanding natural beauty and affluent neighbourhoods.
Well, this is not the best part of Surrey. I'm going to give the location score at the end of the video. But what you should know right now is that it's at the end of a cul-de-sac and it's in a 3-home private little gated area, which is really, really good. And then the 3 homes are very much so similar looking architecturally to each other, which makes it look very track homey, which is not ultra luxury or luxury, right? If one of them sells for a price, then you pretty much get comped very similarly because they're kind of like stuck together, right? But then you're also northeast facing, which is horrible for London, meaning you don't even get afternoon sun. Forget about the daylight, like, being south facing. And third, you're close to a tram line that goes pretty close to the property. So you're probably going to hear that between 30 to 40 times a day.
We'd like to punctuate space so that it has a clear identity and meaning. Well, I think it's fundamentally the overarching style that we have gone for is that organic, earthy, natural palette.
It looks beautiful as well, and really, I'm so impressed.
Thank you very much.
Really am. And now, I've never seen one of these before. This is a wellness room adjoining your bedroom. Now, before we head inside, I wanted to show you the exterior. As you can see, it's been built in the style of the arts and crafts movement. Symmetrical, lovely red brick, traditional windows, and it is a big building.
Wait a minute. Arts and crafts is not symmetrical at all. By definition, arts and crafts is very handmade-y. Like, it needs to have a lot more character than this, and this doesn't. It's very, I would say, Edwardian, late Victorian style that you would see like in East Ealing. It doesn't look whatsoever arts and crafts to me. 3
floors, 6,000 square feet, up to 6 bedrooms. Round the corner, we have a triple garage with an EV charging point.
What is this? Like Scandinavian storage unit style? I don't know where this came from. This is like really odd. Very, very odd. It does not even go with the main house.
Now, it looks stunning, but what was most important to Dean when designing and building this house was health and wellness. And what better person to speak about that with than the main man himself? Let's head inside.
Where's the chimney? Like, arts and crafts home are known for having this, off-center, quirky, like, come on. This is, I don't know who came up with the architectural name, but this is, in my book, this is not arts and crafts at all.
Now, we're in the entrance hallway and I'm with Dean, but we're in this sort of like central atrium, which I have to say, this is unusual for a British home.
Yeah, I guess it is a bit unusual. Typically a house of this size, you would normally walk in, you'd have a hallway and a staircase, and if it was a grand house, it'd be a sweeping staircase. So we said, okay, we want to walk in, we want to see natural light, and we've got big skylights right the way up to the top. We want to have a connection to nature. We've got a tree.
But the tree has no connection with you. You can't even see the leaves. Like, you just see the stem, like the bark. Come on. You should have used like devil's ivy or British ivy for that matter if you wanted to create that. But again, I like the fact that you enter center, right? You got that wow factor when you open up, you see the depth of the yard, really cool. And you get the natural light coming. This is a 3-story home. It's important. You want to bring that natural light because you're northeast facing. So all clever thoughts. But then what the hell are these arches doing? Like, are we Mediterranean out of blue? Like, again, there's so many ways architecturally that this is like off. For example, you could bring a lot of timber to arts and crafts home, and this would have been a great opportunity to have some headers, like bring the little craftsy elements of arts and crafts to the inside. You continue that from the outside. We just got a bark of a tree that we don't even see its leaves.
And we want this to be the kind of central core that the whole house revolves around, so that when you're moving around this house, it feels fluid. You get a sense of connectivity wherever you are.
You get a connectivity to what? It actually it destroys the flow by putting this cavity in the middle. I understand why he did it, but it doesn't give you a good flow if that's what he means. If he means connecting with nature, then this tree is not really cutting it.
Look at this.
Which, I mean, you know, a big dining room, we've got a little sort of reading nook, but I guess this is the kind of centerpiece from which the whole house kind of revolves around.
Are you talking about the sewer line going down right behind you? What the hell is this? How did this sewer line pop up in the dining room?
I mean, look at these. These are French windows opening up onto your lovely garden. You didn't have to, but you went big.
We went big.
You went big.
Yeah, we went big. And these are all bespoke timber, so all sustainably sourced, all bespoke. And even, you know, we've got multiple doors, obviously. Connection to the natural world is a big thing for us. And even roof lights. These roof lights open.
Oh, yeah.
So these are ventilated. All these controls here make the roof lights open. So lots of fresh air, lots of natural light, connection to the natural world outside. It elevates our sense of well-being, I guess, which is kind of what we stand for.
Unusually, you actually use a wooden, like a timber frame, not concrete or steel as much.
No. So we everything we do typically is timber frame when it comes to the construction. So the frame of our house is timber because it's sustainably sourced. You won't get more sustainable than timber frame. Actually, it's carbon negative. Also, it's thermal performance. You don't get better than timber frame generally. So we use timber frames to build our houses, but also when it comes to interior fit outs, like I was saying, you know, we use timber windows. Well, in this development, we use timber windows anyway, but a lot of the floors, the walls, the timber joists that we've bespoke specified are all designed to give you that sense of connection to the natural world.
Wait a minute, you were talking about timber. And the only element that you brought on the ceiling as an accent, which looks good, okay, but that's where you stop. No one knows the windows are timber. You've painted them, right? And then the floors are tiles. It would have been interesting if they had some timber elements on the exterior of the house to give it a little bit more character and be, architecturally more correct.
We're big fans of timber frame. They look great. It's a nod to the arts and crafts heritage of the area, but also helps us kind of bring the design up to, 2026 standards.
Tell me a bit more about the style and how you decided on that.
If truth be told, there's a lot of neo-Georgian houses. I see a lot of them, and don't get me wrong, they're lovely, but I could tell you almost where every room is in one of these new neo-Georgian houses, and I'm a bit bored of it. So the way we are programmed and we're set up is we consider absolutely everything from the ground up. And we said, okay, if we're going to go with something that's a little bit different, let's reinvent that arts and crafts look. It's classic, it's traditional, but I'm not sure anyone had kind of run with it to bring it up to a modern kind of feel.
Reimagined it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because by definition, it's craftsy. It's supposed to be artsy and craftsy. It's in the name. Okay. I'm all for experimenting, okay? But taking an arts and crafts home and taking the arts and crafts out of it, look, it's naked. It doesn't have anything anymore.
All of these materials, this is natural quartz.
Yeah, natural stone, yep.
Absolutely gorgeous. You've got plenty of storage space. And I see a cooker tap here, but also you did mention earlier about filtered water. This terrified me. Give me the down low of the water quality and why it's so important.
I don't mean to scare you. Well, like you mentioned earlier, our wellness offering is clean water, clean air, low toxic materials, and a connection to the natural world. And that's every single property that we build has that.
That's amazing. So that's really cool. So he has a ethos, right? He has this thesis that he's surrounding his work around, which I respect, right? It's really cool to actually target, and it's normally profitable if you do it right, to target a specific demographic and build properties for them, so you get that extra bonus, right? A lot of people might come in, they like the house, they don't care, they buy it, but you get also those people who are very, let's say they have someone who's really sensitive to material or has some, lung function that needs all these aspects. So it's really cool that he zeroed in on this niche, but architecturally, it's like You picked the wrong one, buddy.
Now that is a pantry unit, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is the smoothie maker, your coffee machine, whatever it is you want. But it's all bespoke joinery, British made, oak, dovetail, drawer boxes.
And then we've got Miele appliances, nice big fridge and freezer. Look at the site. Look at this, every bit of space used. I like it.
Okay, let's sum up the kitchen really quick. Not a bad kitchen, very close to the dining table. It opens up to the outside. Great spacing between the counter and the island. It's very comfortable, and it got that cabiny vibe and energy, mostly because of that wood shelf above the stove that really doing, the heavy lifting and the timber on the ceiling. But then you mixed it up with chevron pattern floors, which doesn't again go with the arts and crafts movement whatsoever. But overall, pretty good, decent kitchen.
Back of house, bit of the boring bit, but
back of house.
The functional bit, but again, thinking about how
you use
family
the space,
life.
yeah.
I'm a father of 2 young kids. They are 2 boys, particularly messy, particularly muddy. So the idea is you can go for a walk with the dog, come in through here.
And then you're not going to have a place to sit down. You're going to open up and it's going to block your space in the hallway. Come on. Some part of this hallway should have been a bench and open area for hanging your jackets, right? Like your daily stuff. And some place where you can sit down and take off your shoes actually and change and put it in the rack. So again, not done right. And it would have looked so much prettier. This is just really ugly.
Everything can be contained in here, and you've got a giant dog/child shower.
That's for the dog.
This is for the dogs.
What do you got, man? A Great Dane? A Great Dane won't even fit here. This is for Snoop Dogg. It's huge. What kind of...
Okay, so this is the utility. Wow.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how incredible utility rooms get, but this is another sort of back of house area, right? So it's functional, a lot of space for storage, pantry. If you've got a dinner party, this becomes your kind of dump all your washing up and your whatever, meal prep area, that sort of stuff.
Really? I haven't heard that before. People doing the dishes in the laundry room. Okay.
And then we have the stairs. I must admit, I was wondering where they were. I like that that's just tucked here, just to get you upstairs.
Oh, it's functional, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't live in the Victorian times, so
because we want this.
We want an atrium that's filled with natural light.
Oh, it is. Look at these soft curves everywhere, like just undulating, and like you've kind of replicated that in things with the table and I can see that with some of the furniture. And again, I know you will have done that on purpose, but people don't kind of understand those details.
So this is what we call the family snug.
I mean, this is a decent sized snug, isn't it?
This is a cozy room. But yeah, this is the kind of idea that you have that private space, family space, bit more relaxed, TV, lounge around after a busy day.
Oh, you can really cozy down here.
Can you spot the flaw? I always pause the frame and ask my subscribers to spot the flaw because it's a muscle you have to exercise. 3, 2, 1. The distance of the family room to the kitchen. This is really far away. They're exactly at opposite corner of the house. The kitchen is all the way on one side and the family room is all the way on the other side. This is not ideal. You want to have the family room very close to the kitchen. The person who's cooking has their eyes on the kid and then they can go inside. You create a center in the house and this just doesn't feel that way at all. You have to go through the dead space of the house, which is the hallway and the dining room, which you will barely ever use, to get over here to this side. And that disconnect, it doesn't make it, or when you live in it, you feel that, right? You feel that disconnect in the house instead of the house bringing the whole family together.
I mean, Dean, I'm in a flat in London and I was one of those people during COVID where I just thought, I'm going to buy loads of plants, I'm going to be surrounded by it, I can't leave. And now I'm going to buy even more after hearing that. Because it makes a real difference. It's good for the air quality, but also just makes you feel better, doesn't it?
It does.
But you said earlier, fig tree.
Fig trees, yeah. So my little word of advice would be get yourself a fig tree. Fig trees are great for air purification. One of the best plants we can get. Purify the air and make us feel good at the same time.
There you go, guys. Put it on your bucket list, get yourself a fig tree. You can only, just a little tiny one. I mean, another beautiful room. I'm loving using these exposed timber beams in all of the rooms. You know, it creates that cohesiveness, but again, it makes you feel like you're in a bit of a cabin. It's really nice. There's a lot of styles going on here. I saw, like, you know, there's a bit of Mediterranean, Moroccan and going on outside. This is giving me Scandinavian/Victorian, and it all works.
Yeah, Hannah, it's a shit show. I know. But the main point here is the fact that you got your formal living space right next to your family room. And then the formal living space is the one that opens up to the backyard and the family room doesn't, which is a little bit odd. You have a choice to give one of them, right? And then the formal living space doesn't have any functionality to it either. It doesn't have a bookshelf. It doesn't have a library corner. It doesn't have a bar. It doesn't have any element beside the fireplace to entertain. And I always like to add another element to it to give an excuse to hang out in one side for one reason and another for another reason. Just give it more functionality, and this just doesn't.
Well, I think it's fundamentally the overarching style that we have gone for is that organic, earthy, natural palette. And like you say, maybe I hadn't really considered that there was sort of Scandi, Moroccan, whatever. I think maybe it's just the fact that different cultures all like to reference the natural world, right? So it seems like a kind of amalgamation of different cultures, but who knows? Maybe we've kind of just drawn on something a bit more fundamental.
No, you haven't. That's not what she was talking about. She's talking about architectural elements in the house, okay? And you're talking about the palette and the organic feel of material, pillows, furnishing, staging you've used. Okay, this is classic execution of how people who build tract home developments do. They borrow elements from every architectural style they can get in, right? Which gives you this kind of a comfortably numb, no character, just like a, blob, just like diffuses your energy, right? I don't know how to explain it, but it reminds me of a classic tract home development in the United States, interior wise, layout, finishes, and the mix of architectural style and element and arches and beams and all this stuff. It doesn't work for me whatsoever, especially that window. Is it a door? Is it a glass? Like, what is this? Where'd you get that from?
Okay, so this is like your more formal reception room. So that's really nice. Maybe the kids can have that one. You can close the doors. But I have to say, I love how big the door frames are actually. Again, it just creates that openness, that space. But you can also close them off as well. But it's the flexibility as well about having a family home, because your pillars are, luxury, refined, built for families, sustainable, but also having this sort of, it looks beautiful as well. And I mean, really, I'm so impressed.
Thank you very much.
I really am.
I'm not, because the definition of modernizing arts and crafts home is not adding a bunch of random elements to diffuse it. It's taking away elements, right? Less material to summer it down. And you don't introduce new materials that don't fit in. What you had to use here was more timber instead of wood mold panelings on the walls, which makes it more classical. Like, if you want anything, you could have put a wood header, fake one of those, over it and continue that character. All you had to do was double down on the beams. And nothing else. You didn't need to bring arches and all these other elements into it to compensate for modernizing it, okay? And you can't modernize a freaking arts and crafts style by definition.
So up onto the first floor, because there are 3 floors, and heading into the first bedroom. Very soothing in here. I love the colour on the walls that you've pretty much used throughout. It's like a stone, like taupe.
Yeah, I'm not actually quite sure how you describe it.
It's a really good palette. I think they've actually done a fantastic palette, and I really like the color. There's a bit of a greenish tone to it that it really subtly picks up the wood. And then again, the color of the timber they've used, it's very, very alive, right? It's like a fresh piece of wood. And again, they brought that brown in the pillows and everything. I think as far as color palette throughout the house, it's simple, it's subtle. It lets it calms you down. I think they've done a really good job color-wise.
Bedroom number 1, great size. Yeah. And look at those views. Oh my goodness. So we've got a sort of like Juliet little balcony here.
Juliet balcony, yeah, walk-in wardrobe, ensuite.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at the windows. Nice. You've got separate toilet, shower, nice basement. Look at this. This is fancy, very modern.
Wait a minute. Dude, the whole neighborhood, their houses on the other side could see you. You're got windows knee low. Like, you wake up with your underwear, the whole neighborhood can see you. And what the hell is that sink and that mirror? Come on. This is horrible. You've completely left arts and crafts. You said adios. Like, later. You've just left it. This is a prison cell cold. Like, the sink. Come on.
We're quite, look, traditional windows, very modern sink.
Exactly. That's it. Well, that's us bringing arts and crafts up to the modern day standards.
The stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's like saying I want to bring this modern white box to the traditional architectural style. It won't be modern anymore. It's such a... Do you guys get it? It's such a stupid thing to do. It's like buying a white box and then putting crown moldings around it. You just can't do that. I really don't think this guy's that experienced. I genuinely don't think these are some like rookie mistakes. Either he's just never built in the scale or in the suburbs of London. Overall, though, there's too many obvious mistakes here.
Amazing. All right, then, so bedroom 2. Dean, the sizes of these rooms. Just to give you an idea of the size, this is a full-on sofa. And look at the space that we have.
You would only say that if you come from London. For Surrey's standard, this is normal, okay? It's not big, it's not small, good-sized bedrooms.
The average family is probably mum, dad, 2 kids.
Right.
And we want the space to evolve with family life or suit family life, whichever stage you're at. So on this first floor, you've got the master suite, 2 really good secondary bedrooms that you can have probably your younger children in.
All on one level.
All on one level. And then as the kids grow up, they can go upstairs. There's a games room.
Okay, they do have 3 bedrooms on the same floor. That's the minimum requirement. And they got multiple bedrooms upstairs, but not downstairs, which is ideal for guests that can't, maybe grandparents that can't climb the stairs, or guests that you don't want them to go through your living quarters by going to the attic level.
Okay, into the ensuite. I just love these like hideaway spaces everywhere. It is honestly the attention to detail. How neat. Just perfect.
I hate these mirrors. I feel like they're the most social media inspired mirrors with the light around them and the button. I feel like I'm doing a selfie and like walking in the neighborhood. It's horrible. Please don't use them. I'm sure some of you guys have them. Try to find an alternative.
Oh, we've seen this sink before. How much of a hand do you have in choosing things like the sink?
I feel like Hannah is taking a piss. she's caught something. She's like, I think she's being sarcastic.
Because I know obviously you are the brains behind the build. But what about a sink? Do you kind of go, oh yeah, I like that?
I could tell you that it's all me, but it's not, no. I have a very good team. And so I kind of set the parameters and, set the ball rolling.
Go off on your way and choose good things.
Exactly.
So you didn't have the experience yourself to pick the material correctly. You outsourced it to someone else and they just picked it for you, and you didn't have the palette. You didn't know the architectural style. You didn't know what goes with what to have longevity in your design so it doesn't look tract homey when it is, right? Like the fact that you have 3 properties you're building next to each other, the first thing that you should be conscious is that architecturally they don't look identical. So they do not compete with each other, okay? So and then on the inside, on the outside, you didn't have the support you needed to make sure you execute a project that it will have a good resale value in the future.
I've noticed the absence of any carpets so far. I mean, was that, I'm presuming it was purposefully done, but why?
Absolutely, yeah. So we use solid floors everywhere.
Yeah.
So what people generally don't understand is that the biggest contributor to toxicity within a home in terms of air quality is your carpet. So
all right, look, we are moving now into the principal suite. Very excited to see. Loving this view. We'll show you when we go to the top floor because it is phenomenal to look down. So
the principal suite actually starts here. So there's kind of in two parts. So we've got a kind of reception area, I guess. What would you call it?
I see.
A foyer to a reception.
Foyer.
A foyer. I don't know what you would add to class, but informal seating, kind of relaxing.
Upstairs landing area or upstairs living area. And it's really not that, because you don't have that much depth, right? Well, you do have a setup where you could have kids' homework area, right? Or you could have done maybe a library, because that whole sofa by there, it's impossible to sit down. No one's going to sit down there. So it wasn't really staged right. You either got to dedicate it to kids' homework area, or you built out shelves, and you put some books in there and a day bed, and you call it a day.
You've got the atrium there, which is obviously filled with light and connected to the whole house. And then this is the bit of the master suite that then is private. So, you
Like
can
a
go
wing.
Yeah, a wing.
Right, so I've just seen the bathroom, which looks incredible, but we're going to go this way first. And this is very nice. Wow. A walk-in area, not just a wardrobe.
No, it's quite roomy, but this is master dressing space.
This is so nice, and oh, look at that. We've got drawers as well. That is so smooth.
Yeah, all the joinery is bespoke. Again, British made.
It's gorgeous. See, a makeup station where you've thought about the natural light.
Ah, of course.
So this is the principal suite. So bedroom here, connected to walk-in wardrobe, another Juliet balcony out onto the garden. You're waking up and seeing that.
Absolutely. And you, like I say, you look at ancient woodlands, protected trees, sunrise. Massive for your cognitive function. Start the day correctly. Releases all the happy
hormones.
Buckle
in. All
but
right.
if you get the sunrise pre about 9 a.m, the angle of the sun against the earth means you don't get all the harmful UVA, UVBs, but you get all of the happy hormones, serotonin, dopamine, all that sort of good stuff. And it sets your cognitive function so that you can be productive in the day, basically.
You better enjoy that, because that's the last time you're going to see the sun in this house. It's because this side of the home, which is by the backyard side, it's northeast facing. So in the evening, when you come back from home, the sun is completely on the other side. Now, I'm really glad that they've put that, atrium in the center. They're trying to diffuse that element. But buying a northeast property in, upper hemisphere, or a southeast property in the southern hemisphere is truly, the closer you get to the poles, it just becomes a harder and harder choice.
This is incredible. Now, I've never seen one of these before. This is a wellness room adjoining your bedroom.
Yeah, the idea of this space is, yes, we have a nod to wellness because that's what we like. We don't want wellness to be hard work. We're not saying anyone who buys this house has to get up and sweat for 5 hours before they can go to work. Exactly. It's not that. It's just, this is a space that's off the master suite where you get the sunrise. You can sit here, have a coffee, read the paper, check your emails, or you can do your Pilates, you can do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah, soft exercise, please. Because if you put a treadmill here, the whole house is running with you. Okay, it's open to the center of the house. Every location within the house will hear you stepping on that treadmill, hitting it. You have no privacy up here. Okay, let me just put it blankly. On the other side of the atrium, the kids are doing their homework. It's really a hallway, dead-end hallway. This is what the whole atrium creates. It creates this connectivity element, which is not fluid. You got to go around this function, and it's a conscious decision to bring natural light to a northeast facing home.
Now, believe it or not, we are not done with the primary suite yet. We now have the Uber Luxe en suite. Very excited to see this. Come on. Now, at night time, I can imagine this place is just, I'm going to say sexy. Very sexy.
Yeah. Close your eyes. We're in Monte Carlo. This is the last home that makes me feel sexy. It's cozy, but sexy. Come on.
And that has helped. Obviously, during the day, we have all of the natural light, but in the evening, tell me about this. This is Crestron. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So the Crestron system controls all sorts of stuff in the house: heating, ventilation, security, gates, whatever. But this is the lights settings, switches. So various different setups, and they control the mood. So you can have preset moods. Very kind of handy for setting the tone in different rooms very easily. So you can push a couple of buttons and it'll go to the romantic setting or the evening setting or the whatever setting that it is you choose to set that up.
Okay, that ties in very well with the bathroom that we're going to, because you're going there to unwind, you know, like soak in the tub. We want low lighting. And this ensuite comes in 2 parts. 2 parts, Dean. Spoiling us. Part 1 to my left, that's just the toilet. That's just the toilet.
You know, one thing we can really learn from the Europeans, especially the British, they always have this setup where you hide the tank and you got this flush. This is a cleaner look. They always do their bathrooms, toilets like this, which I always enjoyed. I've been going to, you know, England since I was like 3 years old. I've been there probably 40 different times. So I really enjoy this. Every time I go there, you know, it's very clean and nice. Again, I don't think this bathroom is nice, but I just like this, you know, built-in feature for the toilets they use.
This outdoes most luxury hotels. Look at you, you look so proud. You're like, well, this thing. This has got to be one of your favourite rooms, surely.
Okay, the sinks are way better. Okay, see, this is a little bit more craftsy. Again, I don't get the molding panels like a traditional property. I thought he was trying to modernize it. But again, these sinks would go, it has a little bit of character, right? Arts and crafts is actually, it's a lot of, you know, you can freestyle with it. You can bring elements that introduce stuff with it. It's actually not the hardest thing to work with. All you have to do is be creative in the, you know, artsy, maybe even a little bit eclectic. Natural woods, timber does really well. This is a lot better than the last bathrooms because the other ones were seriously like prison cells to me.
Okay, time to head up to the 2nd floor, the fun floor. It was quite grand. Splitting off
we didn't forget staircases altogether.
Well, let's talk about the staircase because this was a bit of a feat of engineering. Although it's a little bit more hidden, you know, you have not compromised on the design and the material. So speak to me.
He's compromised on the size. And this is one of those things, if you're moving from London to the suburbs, you would like to not to deal with. Steep, really narrow stairways. Again, it tells me this guy either was only building somewhere else or flipping homes or just was working on a smaller scale or he's just got started in the business because there's too many flaws that an experienced builder would not make. A stairway of this narrow and this angle is just not Surrey material. Okay, it's really not. It's not luxury material. This is one of the elements that you have to keep the proportions right. And someone would design, the architect that would design something like this would come from a place, maybe was working in London, and they're like, oh, we can do the stairways like this. No, this is one of the things that you have to make improvements on.
Very nice, very smooth, clean aesthetics up here, isn't it? I like this. This is a bit of me. Now, before we start having a little snoop around, this is technically what could be the 6th bedroom, yeah?
Yeah. So we've dressed it as a games room, but it can be whatever you like it to be. Actually, we've kind of buried all of the services, electric, plumbing, whatever, here so that whoever moves in can make it a self-contained studio flat, an apartment with a kitchen and a bathroom, or it can be a gym, it can be an office, it can be whatever you want.
Look, a studio apartment, you need a separate entrance, and this is a perfect game room. I wouldn't change a thing. Again, what it lacks is character. It looks like a very common home attic. It doesn't have that attic character to it, but it's a great space. It's pretty large.
Okay, let's carry on then. So I do want to just have a quick look in here. Great use of space. I love bathrooms tucked in somewhere. I always like squeezing as much space as you can get out somewhere. So look at this, just neatly slotted in there.
Hannah, that's not always the most, ultra luxury element when it comes to housing. It's trying to squeeze everything out of the space doesn't really scream luxury. Overall, pretty small bathroom.
Okay, so this is bedroom, I've lost count. Is this number 1, 2, 3,
These
4,
can be
5,
4 or 5, I guess. If that's number 6, we'll go whichever one you choose.
Look at this. It's like a little, slightly cathedral-like.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, all that's sort of intentional to add a bit of character.
I never doubted it. I never doubted it.
The roof forces that. You have to do that because otherwise it will be an empty cavity over there.
Okay, and then last but not least, okay, this one's even more charming. There's a teepee, Dean.
There's a teepee, yeah.
I'm done.
Kid,
Done. If you had kids, you'd be fighting over this one.
No, you'll be fighting over the bathroom because these 2 bedrooms, additional, if you turn the other one into a bathroom too, all these kids will be having one tiny little freaking bathroom. Overall, not a bad attic space. It's more like it needed one more bathroom at the very minimum. But, you know, you still had all 3 bedrooms downstairs have their own bathroom and walk-in closet, which is not bad. Oh my God, the back of the house is more symmetric than the front of the house. And it's supposed to be arts and crafts. Why does it look like a Lego house? Like, isn't this symmetric elements of this super Georgian? And he was trying to get away from Georgian. That's why he picked arts and crafts. I just don't understand. It looks fake to me when I look at this. That roof and the red brick. Oh, it's horrible. You do get a private driveway though. That's not bad.
I mean, this is screaming out for a barbecue in the summer.
Yeah. Terrace, entertaining space.
Nice. I mean, the area you're in is phenomenal. Like you said, we're on the green belt in Surrey. It took me about 50 minutes on the train into London Bridge. So super quick if you did want to go into the big smoke. Not that you'd want to. I think I would enjoy this serenity.
Okay, we have major privacy issues. You got your twin or triplets, sisters and brothers looking into your property directly. Pretty exposed. I can imagine you can hedge this and create some privacy. Overall, not a bad lot though. You know, depth of yard is there. The setbacks are really good. Let's give it an Arvin score. Okay, but before I do that, if you're planning to purchase a new home or build your dream home and you want somebody to pressure test your decisions as far as purchasing the right property or designing and building your right property from architectural style, layout, finishes, aesthetics, setbacks, where to place the house on the lot, which would lead to good decisions down the line, because you screw that part up. Okay, your foot is against, you know, whatever, other foot. Okay, you're gonna fall on your butt. Okay, so don't do that. Here's the inner circle. If you're the right fit, I would love to help you. Here's the Arvin score. Location. Look, I'm gonna give this part of Surrey 5.5, 6. Let's give it a 6. Okay, it's the best part of the worst part. Okay, lot quality. I want to say you're right under an acre. I'm going to give it an 8. Lot utilization. It's not bad. It shares a private driveway. You have the frontage. You have really good side setbacks and a pretty standard size backyard. I actually think the proportions are pretty damn good. And for that reason, I'm going to give it an 8. Privacy. This is a tough one because it should score a lot higher if they actually plant trees and cover against the neighbors, because you're at the end of a cul-de-sac and you're in a gated 3-home neighborhood. I'm going to give it an 8, but it really has the potential to be a 9. Lot orientation. This is pretty bad because you're not just northeast facing, which is not ideal at a higher latitude place in the northern hemisphere, but you're also very much so close to a railroad track. I just don't like that. I'm going to give it a 5. Architectural style. This is really sad because if there was someone who would have helped them in the very beginning where this idea was born, they would have smacked it down, right? But he didn't have that person. So it's really sad for me that like he came up with this idea, you know what? I'm going to modernize an arts and crafts home when it doesn't want to be modernized. If it becomes modernized, it would just not be arts and crafts anymore. Look, you can take an arts and crafts home and make it like modern, eclectic. You can bring it fresh material to it. You can strip material a little bit away from it, but you can't just bring random other material from other periods and throw at it and expect it to stick. It just doesn't work, right? It doesn't have that character. It loses its character. So in this project needed massive amount of supervision to make sure you actually become architecturally not even significant, but normal. And it just wasn't there. And then the fact that you have 2 other homes very similar architecturally with the same mistakes right next to you, it's disaster. None of them were, you're not supposed to be symmetrical. You're supposed to really lean towards these beautiful timber. We didn't see any of that outside. We didn't see that beautiful chimneys that are off center. Like none of that stuff that should be there is not there. It's a disaster. I'm going to give it a 2. Views. Look, you really don't have views. You got treetop views at best. You look into the house of neighbors, but it is a little bit green. I'm going to give it a 2. Layout, I'm not a big fan. I can't give it anything more than a 6. I'm giving it because it had the wow factor when you walk in. You had 3 bedrooms. It was functional in its sense where it really checkmarked the needs of a person, but it didn't go above and beyond to make it super cozy and livable. The family room was really away from the kitchen. You know, you didn't have enough bathrooms on the 3rd floor. That whole atrium in the middle was a big sacrifice that they had to make. To me, it didn't come out as that livable home that you can really connect and bring the whole family together. For that reason, it gets a 6. Scale and volume. Look, I think all the rooms were proportional. The bedrooms were decent size. The formal living room was spacious. The family room spacious. The kitchen, nothing grand, but proportional to the rest of the elements in there. And overall, I'm going to give it a score of 6. It's luxury, but not ultra luxury. Finishes. Look, as much as the color and the palette and the staging really worked well together, and I think it will help them at the point of sale, but the cohesiveness of the finishes was completely the opposite. They were pulling elements from different architectural styles, and those bathrooms were just horrendous. I can't give it anything more than a 6.5. Now, here's the Arvin score. Now, this is the property I actually really, really like in England, so check it out if you haven't seen that one. And if you want to join Arvin's inner circle, I would love to help you. Here's the form, fill it out. If we're a right fit, I would love to work with you. See you in the comments.